It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3.
Yeah, it is. And right now we're going to talk about something very important. With more than 8 million tons of waste thrown into the ocean every single year, the safety of our marine life, the safety of ocean transport is, of course, at risk. And we'll talk about that right now. Over to you, Ewan.
Right, next up on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we talk about waste, specifically waste in our oceans. Now, more than 8 million tons of plastic is dumped into the ocean every year, and 1 in 3 marine animals have been found entangled in marine waste. It is absolutely shocking. Now, once it is in the ocean, plastic litter affects the safety of sea transport, fisheries, tourism, and recreation. And this morning, we have an expert on marine waste in studio today. Dr. Jenna Jambek joins us to discuss the growing problem that is marine pollution. Dr. Jenna, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Lovely to have you.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure to be here. Such a beautiful place to visit.
Tink you very much. Have you seen the view outside, eh?
Yes.
To die for, to die for. But listen, very, very sad. Marine waste, plastics in our ocean. Let's start at the beginning. How does plastics and pollution end up in the oceans? Because I can imagine, people don't just stand there throwing stuff into the ocean. Firstly, I haven't seen anyone doing that. And if I did, it'll be a problem. So how does it end up in the oceans?
Yeah, my focus is on what we generate on land and how it does end up in the ocean. And so actually people are more often dropping things on land, or we have inadequate infrastructure, inadequate facilities to manage the waste that we generate. And so then that mismanaged waste can then be blown or washed into the ocean. So you don't have to be right on the coastline for it to go in. And so just thinking about that transport from land into the ocean, and that's a majority of it.
Yeah. What are the dangers of pollution within our ocean, specifically for us? I mean, taking a look at where we live in Cape Town as the tourist capital of the world.
Yes, such a beautiful place, and you want to have beautiful beaches for people to come and visit. And so if you have litter on your beaches, you can have economic impacts from tourism, maybe economic impacts from fishing and things like that if fishes are dying. So it can directly impact us.
Now, let's talk about what happens to the plastic. I mean, how long does it stay in the ocean? Does it decompose? Does it stay floating around? I mean, how does it work and how does it react with the environment?
Yeah, so it doesn't actually biodegrade. What it does is get weathered by sunlight and wind and wave action, and then it breaks up into smaller and smaller fragments. So it really just fragments over time into smaller and smaller pieces, and this is what we typically find when we do find it floating in the ocean or washing up on the coastline.
And which is sad, because this is effectively ingested by the marine life, which is very unhealthy, first of all, and could potentially cause death.
Right, exactly. Sometimes they eat so much plastic that their belly feels full, but it doesn't provide them any nutrition, so they end up starving to death.
Do we know how much waste is in the ocean? We know that some waste sinks to the bottom, some stays floating around, obviously with currents involved as well, it moves around. Do we have a number, an idea?
Yeah, so scientists have estimated that there's about maybe 250,000 metric tons floating on the ocean surface. Our research has also focused on how much we have going in, and so you're very right that there's all kinds of sinks of where it goes, because we estimate annually that there's about 8 million metric tons going into the ocean every year. So the big question is sort of where is all of that if there's only a portion of it floating?
It is scary talking about this. I mean, just listening to what you're saying, I get this like knots of anxiety in my stomach, because I mean, we have the most beautiful places in the world and it gets affected by waste, and we need a way or solution to rid us of that. So we'll continue chatting with Dr. Jenny in just a little bit. In the meantime, you can give us a shout with your eco-related questions and maybe ways that you try to recycle. You can call us 021 4309 881, or you can also drop us a comment on Facebook or Twitter.